Welcome back to Beards and Brews, everybody. This week's review is going to be Commando from 1985.
And in
Holy
celebration of this flick, I am going Commando right now.
Congratulations. That's the most action. Actually, more action than the movie, really.
Lies.
I don't know, there's that one guy. He's getting it.
He is totally getting it right in that hotel room.
Yeah, he's filming it too. They're making a pornography.
I noticed that after the fact. I was like, wait, why is that camera there?
It's an adult feature.
Well, you know, once you film it, it's legal, so.
It's it just comes with the room service.
You want to hook her in a camera so you can't get arrested? Yes, please.
Well, shit, there was even that cop. Like that, I'll just say Tommy Chong's daughter pulls up to the cops in that paddy wagon. They're just like, look, it's a hooer. Just like, what? Just immediately.
Like, she's dressed up in a nice car, but fuck it, you know, whatever.
She's driving
in a
like
nice
a blue Cadillac or something. What else are you gonna expect? Like,
she's still in her like airline uniform and everything.
Yeah. Only a hooer can drive a Cadillac of brand new rapport.
So, 1985, Commando. Now, 1985 was a great year for movies. Back to the Future, my all-time favorite. But then there's fucking Commando, which is probably my favorite Schwarzenegger movie.
Now, my favorite movie of all time is the film Predator. But my favorite Arnold movie is neither. It's Conan.
Oh, we just go into like a Conan review.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Segue.
No, but this movie it's so stupid. But the only reason why it's watchable is because of Arnold.
it is ridiculous. I'll tell you that. It's ridiculous.
No, you can say it. Like, I love this movie to death. It's wildly entertaining, at least to me, but it's stupid. Fuck, it is stupid.
Yeah, there's 0 sense to be made. It's, what happened? This. What's going to happen now? Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, Arnold turns into a fucking superhero. Like, he turns it on and off through the whole movie. It's crazy.
Yeah, he is has superhuman strength just for no reason. I mean, for some reason, obviously, but like, for some reason, I thought going into this, I'd never seen it before. I thought Arnold was some kind of like bionic commando. I guess I was thinking for the NES game. I thought he was like a cyborg or something. Maybe I'm just combining that with like Terminator or something like that. I thought he was half man, half machine or something. He is not. He is all man.
Goddamn right he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The opening scene, actually, you see a little montage, little 80s style montage of like him and his daughter out in the woods, you know, fishing, and he's I don't know, just being a big old brutally man.
Yeah.
That is like montage number 1, where we get to see the sensitive side of the killing machine.
By the way, when the credits started rolling to begin with, I was going through here and I was like, oh, who's in this? Oh, Alyssa Milano. She was pretty hot. Yeah. Oh, she's 10. Yeah, so I had to back myself up on that a little bit.
You had to chill out with some ice cream. I got you. But no, I love how this movie just like, it doesn't take itself seriously, but it just swings its fucking dick around like crazy. Like, you go from like Arnold, like fucking tip-top shaped Arnold carrying a log that probably weighs like 1,000 pounds, and he's just like hucking away at it with an axe, and it just like smash cuts to him hanging out with his daughter, just feeding a deer because he's so fucking in tune with nature, I guess.
He's that kind of man. You know, he'll fucking chop down a tree with one hand, carry his daughter with the other, wipe his ass with a fucking chunk of tree bark. It don't matter.
And that's the way he likes it.
But did you guys like that? Did you guys like that sleazy sax they kept playing for him? Like, every time he was on the screen, just sweaty. Yeah.
The soundtrack is 100% like 80s synth, so like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was always either like sleazy sax or you had this like real low synth going on. I was digging that synth, to be honest.
And then you know what would sneak in? That little bit of that Jamaican drum for no reason?
For no reason.
Notes. It can't be an Arnold feature without that fucking drum.
He digs it, and I dig the movie, so it works out.
So the movie starts out with an introduction to just some random guy. You don't know who he is. He's wearing a bathrobe. He's fairly well-to-do. And he's like, oh man, it's garbage day, and he goes down the
Garbage
fucking
day is a very dangerous day.
And the fucking garbage men are bad guys, and it's Mac from Predator, and he's like, "I'm taking out the trash."
Yeah, he is. And it's so over the top. Like, you got two dudes versus one already. He's out of his league, but they just have like Uzis and they light him up like a Christmas tree. Like, is that really necessary in the middle of broad daylight? Just turn him into Swiss cheese?
It's probably like 8 a.m. Whips out a couple of Uzis from the garbage truck and just mows this fella down.
And I'd like to point out that one of these fellas is Bill Duke, who is from Predator, which we reviewed earlier. And man, is he a lot of fun in this movie.
His blank stare is just amazing. He fucking oozes the guy down, walks up to him while he's already, shot 40 times already, empties the rest of the magazine, which is another 15, 20 rounds, and then he just stares and walks away.
That's him, man. He's got that 1,000-yard stare or whatever. And then it smash cuts to him all duded up in a really nice suit. He's at like a Cadillac dealership. And he's schmoozing around with the car salesman. He's trying to lay down his shtick, trying to sell. And he just hops in the car, turns it over. He's like, you know what I like best? The price. And runs the fucking dude over.
Yeah, just runs him straight over, straight through the glass of the dealership, and is just like, I'm gone, bitches!
And it tries to give you some moody set piece as it goes back to make you feel bad for the car dealer guy, but at the same time, the entire time he's talking to Mac, I'm just like, shut the fuck up, dude. I hope Mac kills you. And he did.
He's just a scummy salesman.
Yeah, got the Mac attack.
Yes.
And then we smash cut again, and we're at this port somewhere in this middle of the bay, and you have fucking, I don't know, Kiwi Mercury hanging out. His name's Bennett. Well,
Bennett.
And he's just hanging out. He's like, hey boys, how's it going? And he gets in his boat, and he does this kind of weird snide turn, and he sees Bill Duke just hanging out with a little RC controller. He's like, that's kind of weird, I guess. That little remote control is a bomb. Blows it up.
This scene is just so bad, though. It's one of the few times in this movie that I'm like, ugh. So, as he's getting on the ship, he's dressed like Quint from Jaws. I'm like, what the fuck's he doing? And he's just like, I'm Bennett, and I'm getting on old Tiger. And then he just explodes.
Yeah, through my notes, I have him written down as Kano, by the way. I couldn't remember his name. He's Kano.
But all this is to set up that all these fellas used to be in a unit under Arnold, and used to be, the best of the best of the best, sir. And they're being picked off one by one.
Sound familiar?
Shut it.
Predator? Best of the best.
Okay.
One by one? Come on. It goes back to Arnold and his daughter having such a wonderful time. And he went from punching camels and Conan to hand-feeding deer. It's so cute that it's disgusting almost. And fucking his daughter's making him breakfast or lunch, but everything on the table was red.
No, you saying that, it reminds me, his daughter makes him a sandwich, and we don't know what's in it, and he has a legitimate look on his face what is in this?
You don't want to know. And he's just like, oh, okay, keeps eating.
Yeah, but she's too. It's what the fuck? They got a suicide pact going?
For some reason my head's what the fuck is that, cat food?
He's crunching it, he's like, is this broken glass and kitty litter? And she's like, you got it, Dad?
My favorite.
Yeah, protein.
It's cyanide and iceberg lettuce.
You gotta make it crunchy.
Yeah.
Well, instead of getting to the chopper in this film, the chopper comes to him. And it fucking buzzes his house. It literally flies right at his front window, 10 foot from it,
He's got a giant bay window. This cabin in the woods, which is in Idaho or somewhere out west.
It's Northern California.
Oh, is it Northern California?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's the governor.
Not in 1985.
We don't know that.
In our hearts, it was.
In our hearts.
I do remember they're sitting there eating, and this helicopter, he just sees it off in the distance, and he stands up and is like, well, shit's going down.
I mean, I want to say he sees it, but I think he smelled it. I had to watch this little bit a couple times. I'm like, what does he notice? And I turned it up, watched it on my phone. I had to turn up my phone. Was there a sound? And there's a really, really faint heartbeat of a rotor of a helicopter. And that's what he noticed before it comes around the mountain.
Just ridiculous. Because in a moment, spoiler, there's a very similar situation, except for this time, he kind of perks up and then hits the ground because he smelled some stuff. It's like, the fuck is going on?
Yeah, he's just 100% alpha super soldier.
Yeah. But who's on that chopper, Eric? Fucking Colonel Trapman, but not Colonel Trapman.
Yeah. It's like his superior that taught him everything he knows except for, anything, because Arnold sneaks up on him immediately.
He's like, oh, you're still just as big and strong and sexy as ever. He's like, oh, no.
Yeah. And, I don't understand why he had his handgun, unrestrained. There was no, little button on it or anything.
He's gonna smoke Arnold.
He just had his 1911 just out and open, all shiny and silver.
You out there, Dutch? Was the car pervy?
I don't know, but he's as soon as he saw it was Arnold, he's like, oh, yeah, alright.
He's like, Colonel Pervy. And it's like, is he saying Pervy? Like, the dude's name is Pervy?
That's what I wrote down. I wasn't sure. I didn't look it up, but I wrote down Pervy.
Oh, it's, Kirby.
Oh. I heard Pervy.
Oh, Kirby the Pervy.
Kirby, stop tickling me!
I can't do his accent.
What?
Why were you, so hard Scottish? You were like fucking groundskeeper Willie.
I like that. I was thinking Fat Bastard, just god damn it.
Ugh, get in my belly!
But he shows up for the sole reason of alerting Arnold. It's like, hey man, everybody, all your buddies in your unit have been killed one by one. They're coming after you next. We're giving you a heads up, and I'm even going to let you keep a couple of my dudes so he can kind of secure the area and keep you nice and safe. Oh no! As soon as we have this conversation, everything goes to shit.
Immediately, he's like, who are these two? He's like, oh, they're guards. They're going to help you. Are they good? Yeah, they're good. And then he looks all sad. He goes, but not as good as you. And he's like, yeah, that's right.
I gotta stroke the ego. And boy, was that a bold-faced fucking lie, because they're immediately cut down.
Immediately! They're just like, ah! And then the one's laying in the house all shut up, and he's like, man, I can't believe they got me. He's like, next time stay downwind. He goes, what do you mean downwind? He's like, that's how I smelled them. He's like, bullshit. I'm big as fuck. It just goes on.
There's a lot of this in this movie where it's just like, bullshit!
Yeah. I lied.
And then, for some reason, Arnold, in the heat of battle, he's just like, I have to, I have to explain what I'm going to do. I have to go to my shed now! And then he goes to get his guns. And he's like, hey, daughter, whatever her name was, Alyssa Milano, go to your safe spot. And it's under her fucking bed. Come on, your house is decked out with all these cool weapons and stuff, and that's your, place to go? You don't have, a safe room or nothing?
He has an automated fucking arsenal in his shed, like a fucking slidey door with, fancy computer locks that look all crazy. Yet he can't make a safe room for his daughter. He's got to keep the fucking guns safe before her. And this is some shit that I didn't understand coming from an Arnold movie. I understand that he doesn't want his daughter to get a hold of a loaded weapon. But, badass rule number 1, stay strapped or get clapped.
That's true. And we see that happen to a fella pretty shortly. Arnold goes to get his rifle, he comes back, and fortunately they've taken off with his kid, and he got some fucking random henchmen just in a chair just like, hey man, gotta calm down, put the gun away, and we'll tell you where your daughter is, right? And he's like, wrong! Boom! And just blows him away immediately.
Headshot, just dead in a rocking chair. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like he's playing a game of Deal or No Deal, and Arnold isn't into making any deals right now.
That was a raw deal.
Nice. Don't drink and bake.
That's honestly the only line from that film.
You get another sense into his character, quote unquote, of just how fucking he's such a spearhead. A to B is a straight line. He murders the dude he's supposed to make a deal with, and he just goes straight after the fellas that took his daughter.
And yeah, he had an old broke down Chevy Tahoe.
Something.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I like
Broncos.
Yeah, I like how their way of showing you it's broken down. He just reaches into the engine well and just pulls out some wires. He's like, oh,
I can't eat these.
And he goes fucking 100% tough man. He just pulls off the brakes and just starts shoving it off the edge of the mountain.
Now, you said it's a literal straight line from A to B, and this scene literally shows that because they're going down a winding S trail. It just continues in that waving S. Arnold takes a fucking truck, careens down the side of the mountain, bisecting that line the entire time, trying to ram the car as he goes by it on each pass.
Yep, no power, no brakes. It's just basically in neutral here.
Even the fellas that he's chasing down, they're just like, "Oh fuck, he's going to hit us!" Like they're generally worried.
Yeah, because he's just like, "I am killing all of you," just coming after them. And did you guys see the fucking stuntman? Holy shit! He was popping almost out of the truck as it was hitting some of those. You could see him just twisting in there.
That happens a couple times in this movie where like I think somebody died, but nobody's gonna say anything about it.
It was his job. He died doing what he loved, making me look awesome.
As he just like fires up a stogie.
Yeah, I'm a stud.
But his plan almost works. He almost he nicks him, but unfortunately he like careens off this little ravine or whatever, and he flips the Tahoe. Immediately explodes.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I accept it. It's movie logic.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of movie logic in this movie.
Yeah, well, like I know I don't want to steal your thing, but this movie goes out of its way to movie.
Oh yeah.
So the Tahoe explodes, and he crawls out, coming at him, and they capture him.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. He comes crawling out. Fucking 6 dudes with guns are there, and the first thing he does is go, "You, grab your gun. I beat up people with your gun." They're just letting him beat the shit out of him. Until finally, they get into like a tussle, and fucking Big Papa Pump shows up. Fucking Bennett with 0% muscle tone, just looking flabby as fuck.
Dude, I'm glad you pointed that out. Holy shit, he's so schlubby. It's hilarious. He's supposed to be one of the best, and he looks like he fucking sells software.
Yeah, like, what do? I go to fucking Zumba twice a week, bro, for a month. Then I quit, and now I eat Maggie Moos all day.
And for some reason, his fashionista advice was to put on a fucking chainmail tank top.
Don't forget the fucking shiny black pleather pants, and then he gets like a newsy cut off trench coat top later, which he looks a fucking mess the entire film.
I was not paying nearly that much attention to the wardrobe choices evidently.
He looks like all the members of the Village People packed into one.
You're not wrong. It's a good call. Medieval Village People, maybe.
I like it.
That's good for yonder YMCA.
Nice.
So the conversation that we have here is pretty much, Bennett, I thought you were, dead? And then, you abandoned me or some shit like that happened. Today is payday. I'm going to shoot you with a tranquilizer dart.
Yeah, he's like, no, today is Matrix. Payday.
Payday.
I'm just like, shut up. Shut the fuck up, you chubby bastard.
Yeah. And, like, I guess Arnold's so alpha, like, his body metabolizes the fucking thing immediately and just passes out right there.
He's like, asleep now.
Yeah.
He wakes up to these fucking group of 4 supervillains standing over him. You got, like, what was that guy's name? Enriquez, which is a black guy dressed like Scarface. You got
yeah, he is.
The Warriors come out to play. Fucking Bennett in his chainmail. Like, what the fuck? And then you got some foreign coup leader that's just sitting there with his super pink lips going, "You're going to help me overthrow my country." It's pretty bad.
He's like some wild Bond villain. Like, he's so stereotypical.
Yeah.
Which one are you guys talking about in that role? Is that the dad from Clueless?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my god, yes. Yes, it is. His character name's Arias or something like that.
He's the dad from Clueless playing... did you guys watch Parks and Rec?
Most of it.
Alright. Well, there's an episode where Fred Armisen plays like a Venezuelan dictator guy, and it's like the dad from Clueless playing him.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
It's just
One
so...
dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
His little butt chin, just boop.
Ugh.
But yeah, Brady was right. Like, they're all standing around him, like Arnold's having to look like, "God, these are my boss fights out," you know.
Yeah. Sully, I'm going to kill you last.
For some reason, they don't shoot him at the beginning. I guess to take him in alive, but while he's on the slab, he's like chained down with like these huge fucking chains.
Like he's Frankenstein or some shit. Like he's just gonna come up off there like protein powder.
Well, I mean, he pretty much is. You saw what he did to the chain, like, later on in the movie. Like, he's got that strength, I guess.
I mean,
You gotta respect that.
flip a car and repair it.
True that.
But he's being escorted now to overthrow the country because they want to use Matrix Schwarzenegger's character because he trusts, or this foreign diplomat trusts him. And he's like, you're going to get close, you're going to take him out so I can be the new leader of where the fuck Everistan.
Yet, they never mentioned the country. It's some, obviously, Latin American country. President Velasquez, and they're flying to, like, Vela Cruz or something like that. I did some looking up. This place doesn't exist. I know they want it to be, like, Argentina or Venezuela, something like that.
They set him up! He was...
I mean, I'm really glad they made up a country because I have a feeling by the end of the movie, they absolutely blew up like a whole fucking village, a villa.
So they're like, you're going to do this. We're going to escort you to the plane. I'm going to watch you get on the plane. Enriquez is going with you on the plane. And then we're going to be there when you get off the plane to make sure that you're on that plane.
Yeah, like he's being escorted by the tall guy and Sully. Sully's a little dude from the Warriors, and he's such a fucking weasel. And he's just like trying to spout off all this shit, trying to be like macho man. It's like, oh man, you know, while you're on the plane, we're going to do shit to your daughter. And Arnold's like, I like you. That's why I'm going to kill you last. And then Sully's just like, oh shit.
Hasta luego.
Yeah, like, I recognized a lot of people in this movie, but he was the one that I immediately recognized. I'm like, that's the little shitty dude from the Warriors come out to play. That guy, yeah.
Yeah, now he's just the shitty dude from Commando. That's
Yeah.
all he plays.
And he does such a fucking phenomenal job as the role of the sleazy fucking shit. Like, I don't even hate Sully in this role. I actually like his character because he's so ridiculous, especially whenever he's like hitting on the lady and then he's like, oh, you turned me down? You're a whore. Just-
Immediately. It's so good. I laughed out loud. I was like, come on.
So we get a
But,
little bit of dirty synth going on, that dirty, deep synth going on that I honestly really enjoy. They get on the plane, Arnold and his buddy, who I'm sure at one point was probably like a 70s NFL linebacker, but this is what he's doing right now. And as soon as he gets on the plane, he's like, excuse me, can I get a... I don't know why I'm talking in this voice for Arnold. I know that's not what it is, but he's like, can I get a blanket and a pillow? And then he just like breaks the guy's neck, kills him, and tilts him over and is like, go ahead, Brady, give the line.
No. I want to hear Chandler. I want to hear
Please don't disturb my friend. He's dead tired.
Yeah!
Southern, like Creole or something.
I'm fine with that.
I'm from Louisiana down on the bayou.
Don't disturb my friend.
On a
I can't get that far inland in Europe. It's either Scotland or Louisiana.
Before we go, I just want to just point out that Schwarzenegger's name just went from Schwarzenegger.
That was his Creole pronunciation.
No, it's killing me.
Oh.
And like, yeah, he murders the guy like on the spot, and he's such a ninja. Nobody fucking notices, even though there's stewardesses walking by and there's somebody clearly sitting across from him.
People across the fucking aisle from him. Elbow, break your neck. Let me put a pillow here and a blanket over your face. Don't
Yeah.
my friend is dead tired. Where's your bath? Yeah.
I mean, if I saw like some 6'2" Austrian fella, big as a fucking brick shithouse, like murder fella, and walk away, I'd just be like, listen, Carol, whatever my wife's name is, we're just gonna fucking lay low.
But this is where we get like, okay, with the truck, it's unbelievable, but you know, you can suspend disbelief. This is where we start to get in that zone of no fucking way, no.
Yeah, because like, I mean, at the same time, you have like the Weasel Sully. He's walking out of the airport, following that poor lady, who's also Tommy Chong's daughter. And Arnold just like immediately like gets out of his seat. He's like, I gotta go in the back. I have air sick. And he looks at the bathroom door for like a second. Mind you, the stewardess is still behind him. He's like, I'm taking the elevator. He's like, immediately.
By the way, he's airsick. The plane hasn't left the ground yet.
Like, she
It's
was like
still
a
on the
foot
run,
shorter
though.
than him. Like, she wasn't gonna say a fucking thing.
I guess
I'm
so.
airsick. I'll kill you. This was back before they beat your ass on the airline and drag you off.
Yeah, I noticed how like easy it was to just go through security, just like one little metal detector, and just show your ticket to the stewardess on the plane.
I am not a terrorist. Oh, but he fucking he's sitting there, and it blows my mind because he goes down the elevator, it opens up, he opens the cargo hold, rough jump scare that has, even as a child, never fucking scared me because I was like, it's Arnold, nothing's gonna hurt him, duh.
Yeah.
So he pushes past this dog and goes to the landing gear, which hasn't retracted yet, and he climbs down onto this plane that is going, I don't even know how fast a plane needs to go to take off, but it takes off while he's hanging on the landing gear.
Yeah, and planes do, for those who don't know, planes do take off before the end of the runway. So he's already way in the air before they get to like a squishy area that he can jump off on. And this poor stuntman falls from the airplane, and then it cuts to Arnold falling 5 feet into the bayou.
And now, mind you, the marshy swampland that he lands in, after you see this poor fucking man plummet from what, like 800 feet or some shit?
Something
I don't think he was that high in the air. He was probably like 100 feet in the air, maybe.
That's
I
a
don't know.
lot.
He's-
That's 10 stories.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's still
Let's just
way
take
higher
it
up than it
back
should
west. 80 feet. The man's 8 feet in the air and he falls into a fucking 1 foot deep swamp marsh. He's like, splash! And then, whoever the fucking stuntman is wipes out. Then hard cut to, like, the Arnold standing up in the screen, completely dry, unscathed, like, now I got to run back across the tarmac.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that he fell into the swamp, like full on fell into this shitty ass swamp. By the time he got back to the airport, he's completely dry.
It's a hot day, he can just fucking disperse all that.
He's just radiating heat.
Yeah, he's just like glowing red.
Oh, but then, for some reason, Arnold Schwarzenegger knows that Sully is such a scumbag that he's still going to be there trying to stalk and potentially rape either a pilot or a stewardess or whatever she was.
Yeah.
And he follows them to the parking garage where Sully's like, hey man, let me get a little date. You want to see my dick? And she's like, no, it looks like a nightmare. And he's like, fucking whore. Walks off.
It's kind of stupid how that happened, but I'm glad that's how it ended. Because I feel like he's the kind of guy that would try some shit.
Yeah, no means yes for sure.
It's like, get out here, you fucking sleaze bag.
And he's like, pops up next to that lady's car. He's like, you're going to follow him. And she's like, oh my god, are you going to kill me? He's like, no, I'm just going to rip the fucking entire seat out of your vehicle.
Rips the entire seat in one go out of the vehicle. It's like a tiny little, like, fucking, what is that?
Dude, I don't know what that car was. It looked like a piece of Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, some kind of like coupe. I don't know. It looked like a British car, like an MG, something like that. Because I know Sully, he drives a Porsche, so.
Yeah, you got that little banana Porsche.
It's like an 80s version of a Mazda Miata. That's what it looked like to me. Anyway, so he's got to rip the seat out so he doesn't get seen. Because he's a big ass fucking guy.
And it doesn't fucking matter. He sits down on the floor of the car and they pull out into the highway. It looks like a regular person sitting next to her.
He's still just hulking out of that poor little car. And what's the best is, his stuntman Sven or whatever the fuck his name is. It's in all of his movies. You get to see a real good shot of him. He's still kind of got like a partial 5 o'clock shadow beard as they're pulling into the parking garage because I guess Arnold didn't want to shoot that little car going into the parking garage. So he's just there hugging the side of the car with his head down.
I like how it's great. Like, they couldn't get Arnold, and they also couldn't bother the stuntman to get him to shave.
Yeah, they're like, it doesn't matter. None of this matters. People won't pay attention until Arnold's there, glistening, bronze as fuck.
Yeah, he is. And this whole time, the woman's name's Cindy. She's like freaking out, and like I'm getting like these flashbacks of Temple of Doom. I'm like, is this like another Willy situation? But then I realized, holy shit, this giant Austrian man just tore off half my car and kidnapped me.
Yeah, she gives him like a little bit of sass, and then they exchange pleasantries.
Yeah, you kind of have to. Like, even like his demeanor, like she's trying to like fill out the situation with some questions. Just broadly asking like, "Are you gonna kill me?" Pause.
Oh.
No.
No.
But he does end up telling her, he's a retired colonel in the army, this is what's going on. And I don't really know that she believes him immediately.
No one believes him, ever.
Yeah. Well, given the situation, she's got no choice.
I guess.
She doesn't want to end up like that chair.
Yeah. Rip out.
And then they tell Sully, and they wind up at the Galleria?
The fucking same mall from Chopping Mall.
And Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Ah, there we go.
And for some reason, I guess Sully has another correspondent at some ridiculous Irish pub or whatever that's in the mall for whatever reason.
Yeah, he goes in there to exchange and get passports or something.
Yeah, this is his beeline, his side shtick or something.
So he goes and gets those things, and he asks Cindy, he's like, go over there, lure Sully to me, lure him to me so I can kill him. And she's like, oh God, all right, okay. And then she walks into it and goes, hey, that giant scary fucker sweating against that pole out there staring in here. He's
and every time the camera cuts back to him, he's literally almost all the way out. And just,
oh man, whenever the fucking security guard walks out to look at him and then he tries to jump back, his fucking chest is so big that his head is out of sight, but his pectorals are still sticking out there.
True. Yeah, his auxiliary guards show up behind him.
Oh man. Yeah, whenever the fucking security guards all pile up on him, I'm gonna need backup. It's one gigantic motherfucker.
Oh yeah, it was pretty comical the way he said that and the way it was so stressed. One gigantic motherfucker.
Yeah, and Arnold's behind the camera with the stogie. Oh yes, I am.
The best part is whenever they're saying that, the next 3 cuts cut from Arnold to the security guards. The security guards are running towards him, and each cut to closer until they're up on him. And then each time it shows Arnold, it's still just him rotating his head from a hard 90-degree angle to face them. It takes 3 cuts for him to turn and face these people.
It's so weird because some of these guys are actually armed with real guns, and they still go at him one at a time.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just shoot the man for being big in the mall, because technically he wasn't doing anything, and they fucking assaulted him.
True.
So, as this is going on, Sully finishes his business. He realizes Matrix is still alive. He has to rush to a phone booth, but at the same time, Arnold is literally getting piled on by all these little squirt security guards. To the point where he's got 10 guys on him at once, and he's just ah! And they all just fly away.
Oh, you talking about the dog pile where it's like in Kindergarten Cop?
Yeah, it is. And then Sully runs into a phone booth and he's trying to alert that fellow that he's still alive. Go ahead and kill his daughter, but Arnold doesn't give him the chance. Not by doing anything logical. He picks up him and the phone booth all at once and just fucking hucks him across the floor.
Rips the phone booth, not just the phone. Rips the fucking phone booth off the wall. And just tosses it like it's a cardboard box or something.
Sully comes crawling out of there, and it's almost Three Stooges. He's like, fucking takes off.
Yeah, he's so Weasley and slimy. He gets he just kind of stumbles away and tries to shoot behind him.
Matrix. After that, we get treated to car chase number 2. Now, the first one was a slow, quiet build.
Oh, you're not going to mention him fucking swinging on the air balloon or the balloon?
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about that.
I almost feel like it's implied.
So in this mall, there's balloons, these giant balloons that are filled up. I don't really know, decorations, I guess. Arnold unlatches one and swings Tarzan style across the entire length of the mall to land on top of the that elevator that Sully is in.
And this stuntman looks absolutely nothing like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Not a bit.
I didn't even notice, so.
And the fucking dude's face looks so shocked that he lands it when he lands it. He's like, ugh! Kind of looks up at the camera I got it!
I feel like a lot of stunts in this movie were just well, let's just do it. There's no practice, let's just fucking do it.
Yeah, fucking go for it. Just make something happen. He's like, that's cool. Keep it. Because that's, I actually have a note about that. During the next car chase, it keeps cutting from Sully to Matrix and the Cindy driving behind him, like chasing him. And there's like a good 3 to 5 second cut of Sully just digging something out of his eye. And it's like, why did they leave that in? Like, why is that in there? Why do we need to know that he had something in his eye?
He's just, very high maintenance man.
My contact.
Yeah, he's like, oh, my Matrix, my contact's dry.
Time out.
But Sully manages to like scurry away, hops in his car, goes away. Arnold steals what's her name's car, and she winds up getting in. They hustle around town for a little bit, and they wind up in like the outskirts of like Hollywood or something like that. And just like that stunt with that guy just like barely making it, so they're tussling back and forth, smacking each other on the road. Sully crashes his car, winds up on his side. But the other car that Arnold and Stacy are in, they go headfirst into a telephone pole, and both people in the front seat eat shit.
Without seatbelts, but they're just like, smash! Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Good. Seatbelts are pussies.
I like how they had the smash cut into that just to show that they're okay. Because if anybody was paying attention, they're like, oh my god, those two people are dead.
They hit fucking hard. But
no, they get up just fine.
He just goes crawling out immediately, running over there, gets some, clues off of Sully, and then he's like, look at you. I've got you now. And he goes, you gonna tell me what's going on? He says, kiss my ass, Matrix. He's like, say it. What did you say to me? He goes, I'll say it a little louder. Get fucked.
And all the while, like, huge-ass Arnold's taking this frail-ass man and just, like, jamming him back into the car. Just, like, slamming him right into the hood.
And he's just still not giving him up. And so, Schwarzenegger has to crank it up to 11 as usual. Fucking scoops him by the crotch and chest, carries him to a cliff, dangles him by the legs, lets go with his right arm, holding him by his left.
The leg. He's hanging him by his one single leg.
Go, and he's like, let me remind you, Sully, this is my weak arm.
And we have this moment where, like, he has some information, but, like, Sully doesn't know that Arnold already has his hotel key. So he's like, oh man, I may be upside down, but I got something. He's like, I already know where you're going. Ah, shit, man.
Do you remember Matrix? You said you'd kill me last. You promised.
I lied.
And then he just fucking drops him, and he's like, whoa!
The same scream from the Warriors when he gets his shit pushed in.
Yes, it is.
And I like how the movie tries its best to cover up that is the dummy thrown off the mountain, because he's like on screen for like a moment, and it just like cuts to Arnold walking back to what's her name's like, okay, let's go.
And he flips over that yellow car that the entire time that they were banging into it, you can see it visibly getting destroyed on its left panel. He flips it over and, jumps in while it's still destroyed. And as soon as they take off down the street, the car is brand fucking new for the entire next little cut.
Or like his masculinity itself just healed the car.
He pushed out the dents with his bulk.
I don't like how you said bulk.
So what'd you do with Sully?
I don't remember what he says.
I let him go.
And like, what kind of bullshit question is that? She was 10 feet away.
Could she be like paying attention to even?
No one ever calls the cops, and this is where I came up with my own idea for this movie, because in this film we see Arnold in a car, we see him in a plane, we see him on a boat, we see him, in a train. I just was like, you know what? This isn't a movie that's meant about an action star. This is Transportation, the movie, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger as the commuter. Watch him as he drives, flies, and survives a fun-filled journey to pick up his daughter from daycare.
Just like a mundane trip to the daycare just turns into an action adventure.
It's just what's going on in the man's head. He's like, I killed Sully. Yeah, crush your head.
Oh, that'd be great. Like, he shows up to the daycare all fucking beaten and battered, bloodied. And he's like, okay, come with me. He turns around and his house is like across the street the whole time.
Yeah, I'm here for my Milano cookies. Bennett's got her. He's like, put that cookie down now. But they show up to the Sunspot Hotel, and there's Cindy, and she's helping.
I guess.
She's just in the film, standing there.
I mean, she does kind of help.
I mean, I understand, like, she she points out like plot points, or like she has some information that Arnold may not know, but I feel like what information is exchanged, given his vast military experience, he should already know.
Right.
Yeah. She's like, here's common sense things. He's like, yes, help me more.
But shows up to the motel room. It's room number 5, and this is a very like trashy 80s, almost like Miami Vice motel.
Yeah.
Neon lights and those little square glass. What are they called?
Some like divider looking things.
They're like square panel windows, but they're not really windows. But they're very 80s, is what they are.
Yeah, they're like fucking weird glass that you would see in a sauna room or whatever.
It's the kind of place that somebody's definitely filming a porno next door.
Oh, for sure.
100%.
So they go in and start, snooping through the place. There's a suitcase there and all this stuff. And there's a knock on the door. Old boy rolls up.
Yeah, good old Bill Duke with his brand new Cadillac that he's got. Completely different from the first one that he had in the middle of the movie.
Because it's transportation to film.
And Arnold has like a pretty decent idea, right? So Bill Duke doesn't know that Sully's already let go. So he's like, hey, just mess up the bed and show some little cleavage. I'm going to turn the shower on. So when you open the door, just make it look like Sully's busy or whatever.
She's like, okay. And he's like, wait a minute. You're not showing enough titty. Now I'm going to hide behind the door. You'll never expect it.
That laugh. And Bill just walks in like, who are you? Where's Sully? He's in the shower. And he's like, oh, who? Let me in.
Yeah. And he's like, Sully!
And Arnold has the fucking balls to just tap him on the shoulder. And he just turns around, falling for the oldest trick in the book.
What? Sucker punched.
So yeah, there's a big fight scene here. We get, you scared, motherfucker? You should be.
Oh man, we got a bunch of good lines in this just little fight alone.
Great.
Yeah, he shoots off a bunch of shots, just like in the tussle. There's a bunch of shots being fired, and he ends up kicking the guy through the neighbor's door, the connecting door between the two rooms. And there's a couple still having sex there. All of those shots being fired, they didn't notice at all. They're still doing their thing.
Look,
Sure, obligatory titties for the movie.
This is like LA in the 80s. It'd be really weird to not hear gunshots in the middle of the night while you're fucking.
That's fair.
In some sleazy hotel, it's to be expected.
And in the middle of the tussle, he expended all of his bullets, but I guess he didn't count. I guess he was, wasn't feeling very lucky. And he's like, "Fuck you, asshole!" Click. And Arm's like, "Fuck you, asshole!"
Dick toss. Fucking throws him on the dick.
Yeah.
Okay, the guy flies through something or other, a wall or a door or something. He lands with something stabbing through his chest from the back. What kills him?
I think it was a piece of that door frame.
It was plot. The plot killed it.
Had to have been. I don't know what else would have. I don't know.
It was a Mortal Kombat uppercut onto the spikes.
Yeah, he got vampire slayed.
And as quick as it started, they're just like, "Oh man, this guy, he had a gross death. All right, leave." And I guess the people next door just continue fucking. I don't know.
Yeah, they're like, whatever, it doesn't matter. We'll take Cook's car. He won't be needing it.
He's dead tired. I don't know. just keep using it.
They roll up to fucking Patia Enterprises, so Bad Guy Inc. And what blows my mind is that this movie cuts and wipes so much that they could have just done the na-na-na-na-na-na with the bat signal, but just like a big flexing Arnold muscle, and I would have been just as happy. He sneaks into Bad Guy Inc. And the first thing he does is he's like, stealth. 2 guys leave. Go in. What's this? A person of color.
And can we bring up the point how he got into this place? Because he didn't have a lockpick or anything. He fucking tore the chain off the goddamn fence barehanded.
He made it look easy.
Well, not only that, he climbs up a pipe and tears off a corner of the fucking building just to get in.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like fucking Raziel from Soul Reaver or some shit, just tearing stuff apart. I will get in here.
Yeah. I feel like if he's in such testosterone mode, if he ran into somebody right then, he would just crush them into a basketball and throw a 3-pointer.
Yeah, and they would have been like, "Thank you."
And honestly, the guy in this map room that he encounters and then subsequently beats up, maybe kills. I don't know that condition that he's in. We don't know that he's he might be a decent guy just doing his job. We don't know what he's doing.
Oh, I'm an engineer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that happens a couple times where you think, I don't think he deserved that. Like, there's that one fella later on, he's just like patrolling the little boat area, and he gets his head smashed into a big metal thing.
Oh my god. Like, it's vicious, and they don't show any blood, but, you know, my kid's watching, he goes, that didn't kill that guy? It's like, I'm sure it did.
Yeah, like, he's just tasting colors for the rest of his life if he makes it through it.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad. But they get to the map room, and the whole point of this is to, you know, give us a little bit more plot, a little more exposition to let us know why he's got to screen wipe to the next place.
Yeah, we find out that, like, the bad guy's been hiding on this, like, little secret island off the coast of California while the coup's taking place, so he can just, I guess, void any kind of responsibility, any kind of connection. And to get in between, they've been flying out these, like, pontoon boats to get the stuff in between, or pontoon airplanes, excuse me.
Yeah, and she's like, you know what? Let's get in this fella and let's go. He goes, not yet. We got to go shopping. She's like, what? What are we shopping for? And then he goes to an army surplus. And I was like, oh, he's just going to drive the car through the front. No, he gets out of the car and somehow there's a fucking bulldozer
Yeah, where does this bulldozer come from? Where'd it come from? I need to know.
Where did it come?
Well, next door is like a small construction area, but it's like briefly shown because they pull in, and that's the only shot you get, like a little pan, and that's it.
But he just jumps in it, turns it on, fucking smashes into the surplus and loots it like a redneck episode of Supermarket Sweep.
That seemed excessively easy.
Yeah. And why does this place have a rocket launcher, let alone the fucking rockets?
Dude, it's just like that scene from Men in Black. You just have a back room of like the big shit.
I guess, man. But finally, a little bit of logic. He sneaks out a rocket launcher and some rockets, and then he's got like literally an armful of guns, and he's trying to walk out the door, and the cops are like, freeze! And he's like, I'm a colonel. Call Colonel Trotman. He'll get me out of here. It's John Rambo.
Yeah.
This scene is actually the one that I'm most kind of confused by, the most that I have to suspend my belief for. Alright, 2 cops are going to take him down. Alright, they've got guns. Alright, they don't call for backup on this. I mean, he's obviously trying to steal a whole lot of arms. This is for sure grand larceny.
I think it's assumed that they did because when they cut to him being like taken out to the paddy wagon, like fucking everybody's there.
Is there?
Yeah, there's a shit ton of cops.
Huh.
Yeah, like the whole fucking precinct or something.
And
just
also, how does she not get arrested as like an accessory? How does she just get to walk?
She was conveniently parked around the block.
One straight over with a rocket launch. You can't have anything to do with this stuff. And then she pulls down an alley right next to where all this is happening and follows the fucking SWAT van.
I've never seen a paddy wagon not accompanied by other cop cars.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
They load him up and they're escorting him away, and she pulls up in that Cadillac. The guy, like you said earlier, is like, ooh, look, a whore. And she's like,
Yeah.
maybe him. She's got something for you. Oh, I bet she does. And she does. It is a 4-barreled rocket launcher.
And she can't shoot it correctly the first time. Oh no, she's a silly woman. This movie's too macho for that. And she winds up like reading the instructions and pointing it the right way and just fucking exploding the shit out of the paddy wagon. And somehow Arnold's not fried to a crisp inside.
Okay. Now, any explosion you see, any gunshot you see, anything you see coming from certain characters. So if it's coming from a bad guy, it is 0.0% effective. If it is coming from Arnold Schwarzenegger, it is 100% effective. It is coming from this female, it is comically ineffective. She shoots a rocket at a vehicle, hits the vehicle, smoke billowing out of the vehicle, everyone's okay. And the cops just let Arnold go after they get blown up. There's no question. They're just like, look at that rescue attempt. Just look at it go. How majestic.
Yeah, jeez, she got me.
That whore sure can shoot.
That's very Blazing Saddle.
How did you figure it out? I read the instructions. You can read.
Wouldn't even let her have the one-liner.
Yeah.
And then they just mosey along like nothing happened. They go to that little seaport or whatever so they can get on that plane.
Yeah, and then fucking they smash dude's head and then they jump in the thing. She's like, oh man, it's like a canoe with wings. Get in, stop paddling. Yeah.
And of course this place is run by Bad Guy Incorporated, but the entire place only has 2 henchmen and a jeep.
Yep. easily dispatched when you are making anything but muscle. Just kill them all.
It was like 4 whole solid minutes of them firing nonstop at Arnold, and he just turned around, and they just fucking die and fall into the river or the bay.
Yeah. Just sploosh sploosh. He's like, don't worry about it. And then they take off, and they're flying over, I guess, an Air Force or a naval base or some sort of military base. And who's that on that fucking comm set?
That's good old William Paxton.
I wrote down, dude, is that Bill Paxton? That's fucking Bill Paxton.
Yeah, it is.
Paxton's big line this movie. We lost him, sir.
Poor old Billy. But for some reason, like during this entire time, I thought they were flying over a really bad green screen effect because every fucking time the camera was in the cockpit, it was a fucking mess.
Dude, yes. Oh my god, it looks atrocious with that wannabe fucking sunset or whatever's going on.
Good lord, it was so bad. And somehow they managed to get to the island. Arnold strips down to almost nothing, fills this boat with every bit of armament that he scored out of that place, and he rows to shore.
Little blow up rescue boat that he's taking all of these fucking guns, probably hundreds of pounds of ammo and rockets and everything on. Good luck, man.
It's fine. It's fine. His muscle holds up himself and the boat.
He is in a Speedo with guns and a fucking gym bag. He's like, I'll be back. And he starts rowing, and it's just this montage of him putting on fucking gear and sweating and rubbing on his makeup and fucking clipping on grenades and flexing. Dude, if you don't get half-mast watching this,
the camera zooms in on his pecs while he's rowing too. That was for the lady.
Yeah, I gotta get those vein bulges in there and everything.
Yeah.
And so we get treated to that montage of just how fucking manly Arnold is, and it cuts to the main villain, the man that we're supposed to be concerned he's going to get the better of Arnold. And you got fucking pudgy, fucking sofa quarterback Bennett sitting there. He's like, I'll show Matrix, I'm going to go kill his daughter. And he goes to get fucking Milano cookies, and she's fashioned a crude wedge and broke free.
Then he uses all the masses of his pudge to fucking chase after, breaks down the door comically, and smashes through the next wall, which is made of cardboard or some shit. And he hits it so hard, he falls flat on his damn face.
Fuck yeah, he does.
One of the lines from just before that, you see one of the bad guys talking to another, I don't even remember who, I think it's Bennett talking to another dude. He's like,
oh god, yeah.
Slitting a little girl's throat is like cutting warm butter. And the guy just looks at him like, dude, you got chill.
Yeah.
Then it cuts back to show Arnold, getting a little bit more gear on, and you get to see everything he's got. He's a fucking walking arsenal. He is if a naval battleship were a person.
He's got those big guns. But last action hero.
Fucking Bennett, and all he's got is that little just. It looks like he just eats wings, and he's been retired. And he's over here getting off on chasing fucking kids around.
He really got to lay off his tactical pooch.
What?
All right,
Speaking of tactical pooch. Oh, I'm not going with that. I don't know what that means.
Well, that little roll he has right there, his little belly.
His Dunlap disease.
Oh, I think I might actually go with that. Speaking of tactical pooch, that has nothing to do with what I've got here today.
Working on tactical pooch.
I've got from Cincinnati, from Rhinegeist Brewing Company. This is the Lodo. This is they've got a beer called the Peach Dodo, which is a peach sour beer.
Was this something like lime or lemon? And that's why they put the L in there?
No, it's like the lower calorie version of that. It's sort of like the toned down version of that. Sorry, guys. But it's a peach sour beer. Smells really tart automatically, just acid. a lot of peach and green apple in there. There's honestly not a whole lot of depth in there. It's pretty watery. It's only 3.7% ABV. I'm not a fan of this beer at all, to be honest.
Even though you don't like it, sponsor us.
Yeah, I just can't do it with this. It's too acidic for I'd have to drink so many of those, to be honest. And I would need all the Tums.
Well, you know what? Honesty is the best policy, and honestly, they should sponsor us.
I do like Rhinegeist Brewing Company. The majority of their beers, I like them a lot. They're generally good people.
Well, you know what? That may not have tickled your taste buds, but you know what does? This next 20-minute action scene, which doesn't fucking stop.
Oh Lord.
God. All over the island.
No shit. I'm absolutely convinced they blew up an actual village.
Dude, he is setting those claymores, he's got all these guns, and whenever they start throwing like the fucking grenades and the sirens start going off and they blow up that, it's what, like fucking 12 houses he blows up?
It's like 3 giant houses and like a watchtower and all kinds of stuff.
Dude, it's so many fucking houses getting blown up. And the action here is top notch. He is throwing knives, shooting knives. He's got knives fucking slitting throats. He's just knifing it up.
And we're on like a little bit of a timer here too, because oh boy, the dad from Clueless finally got the call that his friend down in South American country, he's dead. Arnold killed him. He wasn't on the plane, so.
And it starts out kind of quietly, like he has some kind of strategy. He goes around planting claymores and stuff, sneaking around. But before you know it, somebody just like notices him, like, "Hey, you're Arnold Schwarzenegger," and he murders him on the spot.
Yeah, it starts out Metal Gear Solid and ends up Call of Duty.
Como esta?
Oh my.
Huh? And just fucking shoots him with a fucking ballistic knife.
Yeah. Christ. And like the 3 people that are left that he hadn't already killed are running after him. He decides to go ahead and pull the plug and blow the shit out of everything.
Everything explodes.
He just guns up fucking everything. He ends up running into like a tool shed at some point, which is a fun little scene.
Like, he murders indiscriminately. He doesn't take his finger off the trigger, just shooting away, bodies flying everywhere, off of buildings, shit's blowing up all over the place. He's hucking grenades, he gets like double, triple kills, and not a bullet, not even a single little iota comes anywhere near Arnold, except for one little tiny grenade.
Yeah, not a scratch. Not a fucking scratch. 32 men. Whole fucking unit. Me and you walked out right on top of him. But we also get that iconic rocket sequence where he's got the 4, that everyone uses as their iPhone cover now. Just fucking shooting those rockets.
Yeah, like he's going to use it to blow open the giant door to get into like the inner sanctum of the village. But like for some reason, like a jeep full of people sneak up on him, so he just like immediately turns around, blows them away, and without even blinking, turns around and blows up the gate.
Yeah, and he gets blown up with a fucking grenade.
I mean, barely. Like, it doesn't really show. He's got his hand on his belly, like where, I guess, shrapnel hit him.
And his clothes are tussled.
Oh, yeah. They are tussled because, like, he goes into that little work shed and decides to get even more naked.
Okay, now, this is another one of those moments. He goes inside this shed, people surround it, and they spray it from top to bottom. You can see gunshots from top to bottom. And then,
like 360 degrees around, they're shooting it.
Yeah, and it shows this guy's like, yeah, he's got to be dead. So he opens the door, and this motherfucker has been waiting in there with a goddamn buzzsaw, and he's more deadly than Tim the Toolman fucking Allen. Slaughtering.
The door busts down, he's like, "Tool time!"
Yeah, he gets the first guy with like a 4-pronged rake or something, and then he starts slinging saw blades at everybody else. Looks like fucking Scorpion gets that chunk of his skull cut off in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. And then this poor fucking bastard, he runs up at the last moment, and Arnold grabs him by the arm and chops it the fuck off.
Just whack! And he's like, whoa!
Yeah.
And then it hard cuts to fucking Bennett in his pleather pants chasing little Milano cookies around. You're supposed to be afraid, but it's almost like it's comical because he doesn't look scary. He just looks like an angry dad wearing chainmail.
Yeah, I don't really even know why I keep calling him Kano. It's like he's an Australian dude with a knife running around. Like it's either Kano or like Crocodile Dundee.
Hello, baby.
Yeah, he's like Foster's Mercury. It's weird.
Ooh, I like that.
And the whole time he's like got this little knife he diddles with just to be extra menacing or whatever, but it's extra fucking weird.
Yeah, it almost seems like a fidget spinner for him. He's just always got to be finagling with it. The next bit is absolutely great, though. Arnold literally mows the grass with a machine gun that fucking shoots for 5 minutes straight. He's
Good
like
Lord.
climbing barriers and like rolling, and it looked like something out of like American Gladiators. You know, the assault course where you got to shoot the tennis balls. He's just, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like after he like just takes out everybody with like work shed tools, he picks up a big ass LMG and just like doesn't let off the trigger, just like chug 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 for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, I did notice at one point going through the courtyard, he kills 2 guys with 1 bullet. That's pretty impressive, Arnold.
He didn't
Dude,
need
like-
to. He just never stopped shooting. It was bound to happen.
Like, if you guys have ever seen Hot Shots Part 2, there's a part where Charlie Sheen kills so many people, by the end of it, he just picks up a handful of bullets and throws it at him.
I have
Yes.
never seen that movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was a hockey movie.
But it's basically the same logic, but like only Arnold can pull this off, period.
Yes. You only accept it from him. You like, had he picked up a chicken and shot it out of a bow and arrow into a man and it would have killed him and then laid an egg, you would have been like, yeah, fucking would.
Yeah. Because it goes from this like wacky action and then it fucking scales down because Arnold makes it into like the little basement where Milano Cookie and Bennett are, and they have this standoff, right? And it's almost like you want to say like no homo after every line that they say.
Oh, dude, yeah. They're just like, I'm going to get you.
And Bennett, he's in it to win it. And Arnold is egging him on the whole time. He gets a shot on him, nails him in the shoulder. He's like, I gotta go over here. And then he's like, Bennett, you don't want to shoot me. You want to use a knife and look into my eyes as you turn the blade. And Bennett's like, oh, fuck yeah. Oh.
Yes. But
How
the
did you
exchange
know? That's my
that is also fucking golden. You nailed it so perfect, Eric. It is fucking exactly that. He's just, good. Oh, yeah.
I mean, that explains the leather pants. It's just easy cleanup. He nutted on the spot.
Y'all like
I
some knife
get to a
play?
fight scene with Schwarzenegger. Ugh.
Yeah. And he just throws his gun to the ground and he runs at him, both arms extended with the knife in it like a child.
Dude, it's so bad.
Come
It's like,
knife
"Oh,
fight with me."
God. And he throws it, runs at him like he wants a hug. Like the scene from Ernest Scared Stupid when he lifts the troll and it's like, "Ugh." He's just going to
Yeah.
lift Bennett, going to spin in a circle, and then he's going to give him a kiss and be like, "Hey."
Booger lips. Like after like the knife play goes away, it does get into like this, I don't want to say meaty fist fight between them in like this really skinny hallway, so they're like banging each other on either side of the wall.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
they're
it
like them
turns
in a
into,
boiler room or something.
yeah, and it turns into one of those grapples like from Ravenous, to where it's like, what the fuck are they doing? Because like he's kind of pushing him, but they kind of like are pushing back, but they're looking at each other really weird.
Yeah, they have like themselves in like a choking position, but also have their other hand on the opponent's hand. So like, you can't really get any leeway momentum-wise to push either person backwards or forth. But somehow they like do a little dance where like Arnold kind of gets pushed towards a little bit of the boiler fire.
Well, I'll tell you what
Oh.
so much of this movie reminds me of. Did you guys watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? I know you do. When those guys start making Lethal Weapon 6,
Oh, no,
all
the
of
black
that.
thing.
All of that, yeah, it's just this.
Bennett's squeaky fucking voice, because he's talking through this whole thing along with those like grunts that they're making. Bennett's voice just keeps getting higher and breaking through the entire thing.
Yeah, that's the shower scene from Lethal Weapon 6.
But like you're both right. He's like, "Oh, Matrix," and there's a moment where he kind of like gets Arnold on the ropes. Like throws him up against the pipe and starts like throwing some like gut punches in his ribs and stuff. And he's like falling towards the ground or whatever. He's like, "Oh, how do you feel that you're about to die?"
Yeah, he's like, "How does it feel, Matrix, to know you're going to die?" And he goes, "You tell me."
Bullshit.
Oh yes, bullshit.
And like he like fucking throws some kind of like swirly haymaker, and Bennett flies into this high voltage thing that's just there.
Oh my god, it like shocks him for like 3 seconds. He's like, "Ah!" And he comes off of it, choking him.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
very briefly electrocuted.
And for some reason, it like fucking swells his health bar, and he's all like super powerful. He's like just knocking Arnold across the way.
Oh man, the tussle
Oh.
continues a bit more with comical effect. At the same time, you're like, man, Arnold's fucking ripped, and this dude is like the average man, and look how pathetic he looks.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't take much. I mean, he's like a marshmallow dude, but it's kind of whatever. And like, this ends kind of abruptly, but like, Bennett gets knocked on his ass next to the gun that he threw down earlier, and he's just like, Arnold, I'm gonna shoot you not in between the eyes, but in the fucking balls.
Yep.
And then, like, this whole time he's trying to make, like, a speech. Arnold just, like, tears a pipe off the wall and hurls it through his body.
Just straight javelins it into him. There's still steam coming out of the pipe. It is sticking through this guy. Somehow, it's not connected to anything. There is steam coming out of the pipe that is sticking into Bennett.
Sir, it is because the pipe went through the chainmail, went through his sternum, passed through his internal organs, came out his spinal column, exited through the chainmail once again, punched through another pipe, and the steam came through that.
I don't know about that.
That is what happened.
But the best part is that Arnold stares through your soul, looking at and says, "Let off some steam, Bennett."
And Bennett's just sitting there holding the pipe as it's like, fucking steam. Now we get treated to a close just like the opening. There he is, fucking manly as all hell, carrying his daughter out. Nothing could stop me. The whole fucking U.S. Army has shown up. He's like, "Do you leave anything for us, Matrix?" Just bodies.
Yeah. And that Colonel Kirby or whatever has the audacity to like immediately ask, "So I got some other shit for you to do right here. Here's your fucking dossier."
Fuck
like,
off.
Like he's got like his daughter who's a little bloodied and he's torn to shit and back. He just murdered 3,000 people and blown up an entire village. He's tired. He needs a nap.
This was the last time. Until next time. And then he looks at like his daughter and this love interest that I didn't know was a love interest, and he's like, "No chance."
And then cue the worst ending music of all time.
Oh man. That fucking soundtrack swells and gets the panty pudding flowing.
It really cheapens up the joint, huh?
I don't remember it, but I wrote very 80s song ending.
It's there. It's almost embarrassing, but you know.
The 80s are kind of embarrassing, just like as a thing.
But you know what's not embarrassing? This movie. Every time that I watch it, I have a wonderful time.
I've got, very few negatives for this film because, I fall in that same category as you do, Eric. I love this film. I love this genre of film. It's so over the top. It's so fun. If you're really coming here to get sustenance, like, something deeper or a big story, something to make you feel something more than just like, "God damn, look at that man blow shit up." This ain't for me. But I love this. I love the oomph of it. I love the fucking cringe of certain bits. To me, it's, 10 out of 10, anytime.
Now, coming from someone who does not have a man crush on Arnold Schwarzenegger, it was ridiculous. I don't mean that in a bad way. You really have to suspend your disbelief on this one. There's so much just stuff that's like, what? It was okay. It was entertaining from front to back. It was. But it's just a little bit too much like mindless blowing shit up for me. If you're into mindless blowing shit up, sure, this is absolutely a key part of that genre. It's okay.
So there you have it. Good old Commando from 1985. If you have any deep feelings about this movie or this podcast, leave them in the comments below.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Be sure to hit that little bell icon over on your right so you know next time we've got another one of these brewing.
Make sure you check out all of our stuff on social media so you can let off some steam. We got that Instagram, we got a Twitter, we got a Reddit, we got a Facebook. We got an amazing administrator constantly putting out new stuff for you guys. So get out there so we can be back.
Yeah.
Champ.